So, welcome back to our playthrough of Feudality. Originally this was planned to be the second part, but as I noticed really time was fleeting, I decided to cut the first part in two halves basically, so each around 30 minutes. So this is now the third part actually. Hope you're still online, hope you're still with us here, or with me here. Pluralis Majestatis. Really fits the theme here. Yeah, it's the blue player's turn. So as usual, let's roll the dice and see what we can do here. So let's put that together. So so that's a 1 and a 3. So let's see here. So 1 and 3. The same goes for the red player here, of course. Blue player is first. So he can now decide whether to use a stone, so his gravel pit, or his ore mine. When we check his resources down here, I think it's better to get the stone. So let's take a stone for the blue player. For the red player, it's relatively easy. He can only decide to go for the stone quarry, so he gets 2 stone. But basically, he got more than enough, as you can see here. But okay, now it's time for the event card phase. So let's draw an event card here, and let's see what we have here. That's a rat infestation. So one player is being affected by the red plague here, or by the plague here. So the blue player can now choose one player of his choice. I think this will be easy going. Of course, he will give that to the red player. And what happens now? The red player directly or instantly loses 1 favor point. Oh, it's really tough luck for this guy. So he's back at his starting position. And additionally, this will stay near his fiefdom, and during the feeding phase, the rats eat 1 additional food here. There is later on a card being the, I think it's a, I call it some rat hunter or whatever you would call him. And this guy then can get rid of the plague here. So again, not looking good for the red player. Let's see what we can do for the market phase and draw some tiles for the market phase. So let's have a look what we draw here. What do we have here? So we have another trader, we have a knight, a forest, and another gold mine. So right now I'm really struggling if the blue player is taking the knight, which would cost him 3 ore, which he had. Or if he gets another gold resource tile here, he only got the beggar. So, yeah. I think he plays it safe and takes the gold mine. So we place it maybe here. So this costs him 1 wood. Oh, we really need some wood later on. So we pay the wood. Though, and the red player, he has more than enough gold, so he definitely will take the trader, because this will allow him later on to yeah, exchange some stuff. So we put that somewhere down here. He needs to pay 1 gold, put it away. And this was the buying phase, so let's get rid of the tiles here. And now it's time for the blue player's 2 actions he might have. And I'm really thinking of now trying to use some of the special actions just to show you in case. But first he would definitely need to activate the forest, so he really needs some wood. So put that here, we are now back at 3. And for the second action, he really does not have too many of those. No, I think for the first he will activate the gold mine to get 2 additional gold. I think he needs that as well. So he's now, as you can see, at 5 gold here. So these were the 2 actions for the blue player, and now it's the feeding phase. So let's see what we have. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So now he has to pay 2 food. So he also needs to take care of that sooner or later. And yeah, that's the turn for the blue player, and he gives the shield now over to the red player, and the red player really must think of his red plague here to get rid of it as soon as possible. So we have to wait for a card. So, but as he has more than enough food at the time being, I would think it's not really a problem from that perspective. But of course, he lost his victory point, so he's still far away from victory. So let's see what he can do. Of course, first he would roll his dice. So let's see. That's a 2 and an 8. So let's place that. So 2, 8. Again, absolutely unlucky. Let's see where the blue player comes to that. So it's 2 and 8. So also there is nothing happening for the blue player. So both players cannot activate anything. But as we have this 8 here, we can roll that again. Come on, it's always just 2 in the blue. Okay, no problem. So it's 2 and 3. Okay, this time he can activate something at least. And the blue player goes to 3. And he can now decide whether to use his gravel pit or his ore mine. And I think he really goes for the gravel pit one more time because he really needs some additional stones here for later building out. The red player, I should have chosen him first, but I was not so sure because he has both that really plenty, but stone is more important, so he will get 2 additional stone right now. Now again, it's time for the event phase, so let's see what we draw here and have a look. So this seems to be a really good card. The king is visiting his brother. All barons are completely relieved. So this is a neutral card, nothing really happens. In most cases, as you know, or as you already learned, this is actually something good that happens. Now again, it's for the market phase, and I will draw some tiles and show you what we drew. So we draw a miner, another stone quarry, a forest, there are really plenty of forests inside the game, and another bowman. So what are we going to do about this? I think the miner is really something good. You have to place him beside a mine, so even a gold mine, an iron ore mine, or a quarry. And it brings you basically three resources instead of the normal 2 of these mines. Good thing is normally you would place him somewhere where you would have 2 mines. Problem is the red player does not have that, and as I see it's the same for the blue player. But nevertheless he will use the miner here. I think he will place it beside, no, we will put him here, the miner. So later on we could place another mine on top of that, just in case. Of course we need to pay for him, it's 1 gold for the miner. The blue player now, I think he might really go this time for the stone quarry, because this is right now his problem. Yeah, he will do that, so he will pay 1 wood. And we would take the stone quarry here. So let's get rid of those tiles. And now it's the baron action for the red player. And really he does not need any resources at this point in time. So, but of course he can only draw 1. So for once he will definitely take 2 iron ore, I guess, because this is what he needs most currently. Or maybe some wood. No. He will take the iron ore. So let's see. Take a 3 and give 1 back. So we had 6 iron ore at this point in time, which is good. And I think really for the second action we are going for this secret liaison here on top of that. What this means is now the red player will throw the 2 dice and see. If he happens to roll a 2, 3 or 4, then he loses a favor point, which is not too bad, he's only at 1. But if he rolls a 9 plus, then he gains a victory point. So it's really something. So it's, oh, here, come on, my little Baron. Oh, I love you so much. Come, let's roll some dice here. Okay, so we try that. So 9 plus is important. Everything in between. And yeah, we did it. This is in 15, definitely above 9. So the secret liaison is not. We were not found, or basically, so this was kept secret. So we gained a victory point for our second action, which is good. And then it's the nutrition phase. So first we should really think of the red plague here. So we pay 1 for the rats. Not good. And then we are definitely over 12. So I don't think we have to count right now. So we pay another 2. Now let's take a pumpkin away. Another 2 for the normal feeding phase, and then it's off again to the blue player, and we hand the shield back over to him. One more time, we roll our dice here. Oh, it's not a 2 on the blue dice, this is really something new, so it's 3, 7. So 3 and 7, this is good for him, definitely. And then it's also here 3 and 7. It's also good for the red player. So in this case it's relatively easy for the blue player, so he definitely decides to activate the brewery here. So he gets 1 victory point, so already at 9. And he gets another food, which is really important for him now. And the red player, he also can activate his Cellarman here and gets also another victory point. So, okay, we are coming closer. So now again, it's the event phase. So let's draw a card here. And let's see what happens for the blue player. So this is again an attack card. And this is something we... Again, though, the black dragon is attacking one player of your choice, and he attacks with 2 dice plus 8. And of course, it's the same when the dragon is defeating the player, then a plate is or a tile is being discarded or destroyed. And if the player defeats that dragon, then he gains a favor point. As the blue player is not that strong, it's same basically. It's some kind of a luck situation. So, but it's really tough for him. So he decides to send that dragon off to the red player again. And then we have to see, so how strong is the red player at this point in time. So we have the 8 for the fort, then we have the bowman, that's 10, and we have a lansquenet, which is 11, not too bad. So let's roll for the red player first. So it's, oops, let's see that, so it's 11, so 22, not too bad for the red player. Now the dragon, he got plus 8. So that's only a 10 plus 8, that's 18. So definitely the red player has made it. Absolutely fabulous. So the dragon is defeated and defeated to the discard pile. And the red player one more time gains another victory point. Not too bad. So let's get off to the market step and see what tiles we can see this turn. This time it's really not that interesting, to be honest. So there is a food card, but I think the blue player already got more than enough food tiles on this place. There is another gravel pit, another granary, and a carpenter. So I think the blue player will get the carpenter to get another tile for victory points and place it somewhere close to here. Pays 1 wood for that. And I think for the red player it's really not that interesting. So he will rather than build out his fortification, so he makes now upgrades to a castle. So this brings now 3 victory points and 10 defense value, which is not too bad. So he pays now 6 of these stone. We have more than enough. And we pay 1 wood. So this is definitely good value. So he might really think of... No, he cannot attack with that, of course, but he's safe from other attacks. And now let's then those back. And now the blue player can also decide to do some Baron action. So for once he definitely needs some food. That's really important. So he activates the miller here on the right and gets 4 food tokens, which is not too bad. He might need that later on. So, and he also is desperately in need of some wood, so he will activate the forest and gets him 2 wood resources here. Then, yeah, it's the nutrition phase and we should be way below 22. Come on, 24 in this case, right? We have the granary. So he would still need to pay 2 food, get 1 back, and then it's again the red player. Red player will roll the dice again. Again, it's not a 2, which is good. So it's 6 and 3. So 6 and 3, that should be right. And for blue player, it's also 6 and 3. So let's see what the red player can do. So he could activate, of course, the iron ore mine, but that's not important right now. Of course, he will go for the stonemason here, and that gets him directly 1 favor point, which is perfect. But the problem is the same can be done for the blue player, so he can decide which carpenter he's now activating, but of course he can only activate 1. So he gets another favor point, so he's really coming close, already at 10 right now. So these were the dice actions, so there's no reroll. So let's see what the event card is telling us. Okay, this is funny. The king is inventing a new tax. All barons, oops, it's a bit out of focus here. So, all barons must pay any 3 resources to the palace. Of course, if you don't follow this demand, then you lose another victory point. So, good thing is now they can really decide. So, it's the red player's turn. So, I think he will start. So, he takes a stone and maybe iron ore and a gold. So this was relatively easy for the red player. And the blue player, I think he will also send 2 gold and 1 iron ore. So still not really a good card, but not that bad, to be honest. So, and now again it's the market phase. We do have a relic, a knight, another iron ore mine and another gold mine. The relic is relatively fine. For once it brings you 1 favor point when activated. And additionally it can heal one of your troops. This is really important when in a war, for example. Maybe I show you 1 war later on. But I think the king will call a war, so we see that sooner or later. So for the red player it's easy. He takes the relic. Oh no. Oh, that's a problem. That's not good. This needs to go beside a shrine or church. And I think neither of the player do have a church or a shrine. That's really a problem. So this is dead. So I think then, the red player will take the knight. Really do some military stuff here. So he needs to pay 3 iron ore for that. And yeah, what will the blue player buy? He cannot do anything. I think he cannot do this one. He does have a iron ore mine already. I think he will then go for another iron ore mine, I guess. Yeah. So let's take that, put that here. Pays 1 wood. Of course, you don't have to buy a tile if you don't completely not using it. So, but I think in this case it's not that bad. And now let's give the remaining tiles away. And then it's again the activation phase for the red player. He needs to think that he needs to pay at least 3 food for this turn. Right now, as you can see, he has 6, so good enough. But when there is a bad card, that's tough. But I think first he will definitely go for the... No, he will activate the stone quarry, so he gets now 3 because of the miner above that. So he gets now 3 iron stone, which is good. He will need that, so when he's looking for the fortress here, so you see that you need 8 stone to build that. And for his second action, I think he will then activate the iron ore mine here, because he also needs some more iron ore here. So this was for the Baron actions. Now he needs to feed the rats, so let's take 1 away here and another 2 for the tiles. So I think in the next turn I will count the tiles again, but for now it should be safe. And then it's off again to the blue player. One more time, he rolls the dice. Let's see, that's a 6 and an 8, so it's 6 and 8. So nothing for the blue player, and it's 6 and 8. For the red player, there is a trader, but this cannot be activated. So again, nothing really good happens for both of these players. So, but there's an 8, so he can roll that again. So that's a 5 and a 2. Oh, this is good for him. And that's a 5 and a 2 also for him. So it's a blue player's turn, so see what he can do first. So, wow, okay. He can now activate the fort, which brings him directly or instantly 2 victory points. So let's do that, of course. So if we would be in a 6-player game, 1 player would have won now, but we are not. So, and the red player will activate the stonemason to get him also 1 victory point at least, so not too bad as well. And now let's see what the event card is saying. So this is definitely actually a good card for the red player. This is the Pied Piper. So he definitely moved the rats now to another fiefdom. And a 2-player game, this can be your own fiefdom. So there is no choice for the blue player. So the red player can give now the red plague to the blue player. Then the player who loses the rats gets instantly a favor point. Yeehaw. So red player is at 7 now. And the player, let's see, and the player who gets the rats now loses a favor point. So back to 11. Not too bad. And if the rats would not have been in play, this card will be just ignored. So actually a good turn for the red player here. And now it's the market phase, and yeah, let's draw some tiles. So now we have the shrine, then we have a shepherd, another bowman, and another granary. There are really plenty of granaries in the game. So I think for the I think the blue player will now get the shrine. It also gets him some healing and of course another victory point. And we will place those victory points now somewhere below. So I think maybe really here, in case we rolled some die here. So he needs to pay 2 stone. So there's 1 now. This was this one, and let's see what the red player will do? I really have to think about that. I guess the red player will take another bowman. So he's now at 2 bowmen, so he needs to pay 2 iron ore for that. Which really brings him into a good position. I was just reading if we can stack the troops here as well. The rules are not distinct, but the examples show a player with really several of those troops, so I think this shouldn't be a problem here. Of course, we need to feed them. So this is for once. This was the market phase, so let's put those away. And now the blue player can take his 2 barren actions, and really he's really short on some of these resources, so he will activate the stone quarry because he really needs stone. And again he will activate the forest because he also needs wood. And now it's off to the feeding phase of once. He now has the reds, so he has to pay 1 for the reds. And I think, let's count now, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So still doing good, so he needs to pay only 2 food right now. So this is okay. And yeah, this was the turn of the blue player, and he's handing that over now to the red player, and he will roll his dice now. Oh, that's 8-8. This is, oh, that's good for the blue player. So it's 8-8, very seldom of course, and it's 8-8 also for the blue player. So nothing happens for the red player, so he cannot activate anything. But the blue player just put his shrine there, as if he knew that, and he gets a victory point. So he's back at 12 now. But as there are doubles and there are 8, so really doesn't matter. So you can re-roll that. And this time it's a 3 and a 7. So let's see, 3 and 7. Okay, much better for the red player. And it's also 3 and 7 for the blue player. So now the red player takes or gets a victory point. So he's at 8 now. And the blue player also can activate his wizard. No, of course he can activate the brewery, so he gets a victory point. So, wow, he only needs 1 additional victory point now. And additionally he gets a food from the brewery, so he needs that, that's for sure. So he's now at 2 food. Good thing is, in this turn he does not need to feed his peasants, or his fiefdom. And this was a rolling phase, so let's see what the event card shows us. The queen is traveling through the fiefdoms. All players gains a resource of their choice. Okay, that's not too bad, this card. So let's see where we start with the red player. Red player, I think it's important to get some food. Yeah, I think he gets another food. So he does not need to activate food tiles. And the blue player, I think, also will go for the food. So he's now at 3 food. So actually some really good cards lately. Nice. And now the red player can activate the market. And yeah, let's draw some tiles here. So it's again 2 bowmen, then there's a carpenter and another trader. The red player already has the trader, so he definitely will go for the carpenter to get some more chances to increase some values. So let's see where or not. I think we will place it no, that's not good. I think we will place it here. Oops, sorry, here. Pay 1 wood, that's okay for him. And for the blue player, it's also quite simple. He will definitely go for the bowman here, really to defend himself a little bit better. So he needs to pay 2 iron here. So he's down at 2. So let's get rid of those tiles. And now the red player decides to activate, or it has his 2 activation steps. So for once he needs some more. No, I think he will play it safe. So he will activate the stone quarry. So this gives him another 2 of those, which brings him in good position. And I think he will do that again, so he can activate tile twice. That's not a problem. Now he's at 10 stone, and this is really good because he's really looking for this fortress. And yeah, this was his 2 actions. Now it's off for the feeding phase, so let's count for him as well. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, plus 3, it's 18, so it's still safe for him. So he pays 2 food, gets 1 back. Luckily he does not have the red plague anymore. And yeah, then give it back to the blue player, and really he's so close, so he might really make it this turn. Let's see what happens. First, of course, he will roll the dice. So it's 7 and 3, 7 and 3. So yeah, so he could really make it. And it's 7 and 3 also for the red player. So let's see, the blue player will definitely go for the victory point. So he's now at 14, but I think he really needs to make it through his round at least. But the red player also can activate his stonemason here, so he also coming a little bit closer to 9 points now. And now let's draw the event card. No, let me really check something first. Okay, I double checked that. No, he really must make it through his turn at least. So let's see what the king demands. So the king is visiting his barons. All barons roll two dice basically and add their favor points to that. And now it's the player with the most or the highest value gains another victory point here. So I think this should be easy going. So let's roll for the blue player. He has now 14 favor points. 14 plus 8, it's 22. And the red player got 9. And that's only a 4. So blue player gets another victory point. So he's very safe at the ending basically. So let's discard the king's card here. Now this was the event card, so we can go through another step of the market. So let's do that for completeness reasons. So that's a fisherman, a miner, an alchemist, and a shepherd. I think it really doesn't matter anymore. So I think we would take the miner here, place him beside these 2 mines here, which is good, so he can decide later on. And now he pays 1 gold. Sorry, I was just thinking of a rule here. I think I need to clarify one thing later on. I think I might have made a mistake. I will clarify that. And now the red player, of course, can also draw something. I think he will go for the fisherman here. It does not cost him anything, and he can place it somewhere on a river, and then he gets 2 food at least. So this was the market phase, so let's get rid of the remaining tiles. And now it's his baron actions one more time, so he really, I think, plays it safe another time, so he gets 4 food. And he will also activate his stone quarry, but there's really something I need to check here first. No, that's fine. I thought I made a mistake because I activated the quarry for the red player one of the last turns and he gave him 3, but it was okay. Normally you would activate the miner and then you can choose each adjacent mine to which you can exploit here. So we are doing fine. So in this case we are activating the miner here for his second action, and yeah, we will take 3 stones now one more time. So he's now doing fine here at 7. These were his 2 actions, so now he needs to feed the rats first. So let's do that. So it's 1 for the rat. And I think we were still way below the 24, so we pay another 2 food. And I think that's it, so let's check the scoring again. So yes, the blue player has more than enough favor points, the red player's at 9. So blue won the game with his fiefdom. Yeah, this was a playthrough of Feudality. Blue player won. I hope you enjoyed watching my playthrough here. I definitely enjoyed playing this game and really have played it haven't it played for a long time, but I really do enjoy the game. And I'm really considering to purchase the expansion if I get hold of it. So, hope to see you soon in one of my next videos. And yeah, hope you enjoyed it and see you soon. Bye bye!